Good morning, Mr. Jeff here from AKLA, American Kempo Leadership Academy. We're right out of Hudson, Massachusetts. Our website is karateforfree.com. That's first word karate, number 4, free.com. These are our live casts. We put them out every day, typically between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And on Sundays, I'll put out pre-recorded material that I record in various places rather than going live. That way I can spend time with my family as well. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. Today, we're putting out the idea of what we call our Black Belt Challenge. Some of you are not martial artists. Some of you are not training towards Black Belt. Some of you already are. Some of you are just simple yoga students. But the mentality will still apply. Today is going to kind of feel like a test, but it's not a test. It's not a test beyond anything in your personal goals to better yourself. So think of it as a self-test, really. What we're going to do is combine a bunch of the things we've been working on since day one. And you can go back to that video and watch them in order to see the different things that we have been putting together in these videos and how you can kind of streamline them into a challenge or a physical exercise, such as the one we're going to do today. Everything we teach you gives you the tools you need to prepare for the time where you have to kind of take action for yourself, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, whether it be your ability to speak for yourself and for others. No matter what it is, these tools are going to help you prepare for when that time comes. Like Andrew Jackson said, take time to deliberate, but when the time for action arrives, stop thinking and jump in. That's what I want you to do today. I'm going to give you a guided movement through each phase, and the challenge for you is to repeat it as many times as you can without losing the mechanics in the positions, without losing your balance, and without losing your focus. So the idea is we're going through several positions and a series of movements, and we're following that main source of life that we have, our breath. We're going to follow the tone of the breath. So if I'm going slowly, which I should be, I'm going to be breathing slowly and smoothly. But all of these movements, as you do them, and you put just a little bit of effort into them, are going to increase your heart rate. And as you feel your heart rate increase, it's going to be harder to focus. So your goal is to stay focused on the breath, in sync with the movement, going through each piece of it from beginning to end. At the end of the exercise, your goal is going to be to relax yourself and lower your heart rate, again focusing on the breath. Go back to the past videos for the past couple of weeks here, and you'll see little bits of what we do today in more depth. You'll also see a few new things. Every time we do an exercise, we'll always add something. But by the same token, you could do the same sequence over and over and over again for 25 years. And every time you do it, you're going to be either reminded of how important something is, or you're going to learn something new. You're going to find a new angle, a new way to use the motion. So we're going to start sitting today. That's the first step. You're sitting and you start your warm-up movement. And this whole thing can be used as a warm-up or as just a wake-up routine. It doesn't have to be intense, but at the same time, it can be intense. You, the viewer, are setting your own pace. You know yourself better than I do. So don't feel like you have to go faster than me. Don't feel like you have to keep up with me. Go as slow as you need. No matter what speed you're using or what pace you set, don't break this rule. Your movement must be smooth. You don't want your movement to be sloppy. That's where injury and danger comes in. And you don't really get any results when you get injured or you put yourself in dangerous positions. We want to be safe, smooth, and focused. Okay, let's get started. First thing I'll do is just work on breathing in and breathing out and slouching. As I come up, I breathe in and breathe out. So just like one of our past videos, you want to try to pay attention when to inhale and when to exhale with each movement. So round one starts here with this movement. Now you decide how many times you do each movement. The idea is as soon as you start to feel a little bit sore, now you go to the next side or the next movement. In this case, because I'm doing this, I'm going to exaggerate it a little. Breathe in, and then I'm going to breathe out this way. I try to do it 3 to 5 times. But again, one time, slowly and extend it, is better than 10 times fast. All right, my back and forth feels okay. Now I'm going to move into twisting motions. Trying to maintain staying tall. I can use several leverage points. I use them all. First, I start with this one. Depends on how I feel for the day. I might use the floor next. And now I'm just going to reach and hold on to my knee. Maybe even press with this hand as I go this way. Exhaling as I twist. Once you feel a little bit of movement in the core, remember this is round one, don't go too crazy. Now I'm going to reach in front of me. I can even reach this way. In, or this way. This way. However you do it, work your range of motion. Now I'm there. Switch my legs for a moment. Do a couple of movements back and forth. Now remember, the speed you see me doing it, you really shouldn't be going faster than that. If anything, go slower than that. Now from here, quick balancer if I can do it. If I need to put my arms down and do one leg at a time, that's okay. Once I do a couple of those, now I go this way. I'm on the knees, reaching up. Sitting down for a moment. Tucking the toes, reaching back. Now I'm up on the balls of my feet. I inhale, and I exhale. And I inhale 3 to 5 of these, or one really long one. There was one moderately long one. That was an example. You'll have to watch this a few times in order to pick up each movement in the routine and find a pace for each one that works for you. The next time I'm down, I'm either walking or jumping back to the plank. I could do the fingertips, I could do the palms, whatever works for you. And then I'm doing one push-up. You can do more. I choose to do one slow push-up. In this case, I'm going down first as I'm inhaling. Once I get to the bottom, this time I'm going to touch the floor and reach behind me. Breathe in, then I'll put it down, place them where they need to go. And as I exhale, then I take a big inhale and I can either walk or jump. I might even put my hips down first and inhale. And then reset, bend my knees, and jump. Or walk 1 foot at a time. Bending the knees as I inhale, And then I exhale, reaching for my leverage points. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 to 5 times in each position. No matter what movement you see me doing, 3 to 5 times in each position. Or one long one. There's one. Here's one. And here's one. Then I go right to the center for one. And exhale for one. From here on out, I'm just going to do one iteration of each. So you get the idea. You can add as many as you need to. You can go back down, for instance, and then work your way through it. I recommend starting with one. Now I bring them in. Horse stance. Press the hips forward for a moment and bend the knees. Tense up everything. Your arms should naturally be right behind your legs. As if you're in the Old West and you're about to pull out your pistol. Right off the hip. Or like Han Solo. Right off the hip. Now, we're going to go through some motions while standing. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart in the horse stance. First thing I'm going to do is stay in the horse stance and get the upper body moving, just like when we were sitting. Reaching behind me first. 3 to 5, right? Although I just told you I'm going to do one. This is what it would look like to do one. That's one on each side. Now, I go to the next range, which is the walls. Then the corners in front of me. Then straight in front of me. Okay. Now, I can go backwards. So what you can do is go through that, but as you're pacing your way through it, go through each one. Now we'll go into the next phase where the hips come into play. I turn and reach. Turn and reach. Now I go to the walls as I turn. In fact, with this one, I want you to step out and then step back. Now turn to the corners. And right there. And I'm just reaching with my fingers, okay? So we'll go through that again. The standing phase. First we had the sitting, then we had on all fours. Now we're standing. Upper body first, then upper and lower body together, and then we'll end with just the lower body. So upper body. And you can see the pace is picked up just a little bit. Then I just reverse it. Now I add the lower body. Now, we'll do the same thing with just the lower body using our kicks. In front of us, we'll do front kicks. Then to the corners. Then to the side walls. And then, we can't do a front kick behind us, so we're not going to do that. Now, we could, but it would involve a bit of a step and a turn, which it could be done, but not today. We want to stay a little bit basic. Okay? After I do the front kicks, then I do side kicks. And I could start in front of me and do it like this. Keep in mind, you're also using the ball of the foot there as you put it out there. So you can hit this way or kick out with the foot. Okay. So, for the sake of understanding the mechanics, either or is fine. We reach in front of us, side kicks, side kicks, side kick. That one you can do behind you. And then we're gonna put it all together like so. I'm gonna do a front and a side, a front and a side, a front and a side, a front and a side. And then I'm gonna go all the way through. And I can add the corners in there too, if I'm so inclined. And then I can reverse it and alternate it. To make it more challenging, I could also try without putting my foot down in between. And see how I added the corner there? You can do that too. So you could go here, you could also go to the corner and behind you, okay? After that, your heart rate's gonna be up. And then we're gonna work on bringing it down. So what I'll do is I'll start from the beginning and I'll go through so you can watch from here on to see which physical pieces you can try the whole way through. And you'll notice at certain points in the exercises, it's more slow, and other times we'll pick up the pace. But remember, you don't have to go that fast. You can take the pace from the very beginning and put it into the faster exercises. If you decide to do that and you want to see how it still raises your heart rate, think of completely tensing up like a rock with your movements and holding it. And then deeply inhaling, right? Find that pace. Sometimes you'll go slower and then add a little bit after, okay? So here we go. I start from sitting. Three to five, or one, you choose. You're seeing my personal choice. And you can always go back and look at hand positions and posture. Tucking my toes for this second part. Inhaling here. I'm gonna do one, but you can do 3 to 5 or however many you want. Exhale is finished. Inhale begins. And on my exhale, and on my exhale, and I inhale, and I exhale. I'm just doing one. You can do as many as you want. Try not to make them sloppy though. On the inhale, and that was on the exhale. find my points of contact where I know I have mobility and I can bend. Now you can use a chair for this if you need to. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Heel toe. Inhale, exhale. Horse stance. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Then I go to the sides. Then the corners. Inhale, exhale. I'm exhaling on the extensions with these ones. Then I reverse it. Now I begin the full body version, where I twist, step and land. This one I just pivot and then settle. Then I reverse it. Now I'm picking up the pace here just to show you how I can do it with short bursts, but still be relaxed. More relaxed. But more faster. I didn't do the step of that one. But you can see, even if you don't do the step, you can do this. Martial arts students know why we're stepping when we do it, in this case. Okay? And of course, you can add in, if you're more advanced or intermediate in this case, you can add in the cover hand with your movements as you're doing them. Keep it lined up. And even here, you can keep the cover hand like so. Right? And if you're so inclined, go from the closed kneel right to a twist. Okay, after you do that, now you're here. Those are a few extra things, but feel free to rewind and go through each position. Now, the kicks. I'm starting in front of me. Corners, side walls, corners, and behind me. Now I reverse it. I'm alternating in this case. You can do that. If you decide you want to make it a little more challenging, you can do one leg all the way through. Next phase would be putting the leg down for each one, and then reversing it. Each time I'm putting my leg down and I reverse it. Believe it or not, this is actually harder to do super slow. So rather than going, the way I was going right now should be your maximum speed if you're a beginner, and it should be your maximum speed if you're advanced or above also, unless you're really putting power in each one, right? And working that power, you can certainly do that. It's up to you, right? But I find it more challenging to go slow. Okay. Once you go through it, however you decide to do it, at least one round of each. Now, I work my way back down here. Inhale, gonna stay like this the whole time, maybe I'll want a blanket under my knees and under my ankles. That's perfectly fine. Or you can go back to a regular seated position. Here is where we relax the heart rate. So remember, your heart might be going this fast. It might be going super fast, right? You have to focus on the inhale with that special sound. Extend the exhale, and maybe even on that exhale slightly look down and slouch the upper body. That gets you ready for a full inhale from the belly first. And that inhale lifts you up. And exhale. You want to go again for one really super long one. Or 3 to 5, and whatever you set for the pace and for the number. Totally your choice. So go back to these videos from the beginning. For students, they're actually available in the student online library. So you will be able to review those as well as the group and private classes you're taking, which are live and interactive. If you want to try it out for 2 weeks and see what this program can do for you and your family, I encourage you to go to karateforfree.com, fill out the form. I'll personally call you back, and we'll schedule your introductory lesson, which is completely online and virtual, and we'll assess your goals and see what we can do for you. I look forward to meeting you. Everybody have a great day, and stay safe out there.